Okay, today we're going to be fitting a light bar on the 4Runner. This one's made by Nilight. They make pretty good stuff. There's lots of different brightness versions, so be very careful when you buy one. It may look the same, size, but will not have the output you're looking for. Now this one is a 480 watt. They do other ones which are very similar to. They look almost identical. They're only 100 watts. So you need to make sure that you get the right brightness for what you're looking for. This one's a white, and it said 480 watts. So what do we get? Little box with something in. Yeah, these are the mounting brackets. Now I wanted one that's going to mount on the front rail rather than screw down, because sometimes I find the little screw down ones, you've got 2 bolt holes, and then the way it mounts on the light bar itself, you sort of pivot it, and you never have enough, because a lot of time on the front that rail is, or that flat piece is slanted down. I can never get enough adjustment to have them so that they're pointing in the right direction. So I decided to go with this. This will mount to the bar that runs across the front, and then you just bolt the light bar to this. We've got complete control over the lateral movement. Some little rubbers for different size bars. So this is the mounting I want. They don't all come with this type style mounting, and if you want to buy this one independently, they're quite expensive. So if you need it to mount on a bar, make sure you get the light bar that has this fitting with it, because you don't want to have to be buying that afterwards. Okay, what's we got? The bar itself. These are so this is the style of fitting I was talking about. So that would bolt down to your thing, and then that's the only adjustment you've got, is that much. So if this is already at this sort of angle, you can imagine your light bar is already pointing too far down, and you can't get enough up to make it fit. So nuts. And you see these are fixed in here, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Hot washers, flame washers, hot washer, flame washer. Make sure you put this other bolt in first, because you can't get it in afterwards. Okay. So if you look, that is in its furthest up position, and that is almost 90 degrees, which means you can tip it low down, but you can't tip it up any more than that. So if your flat surface is already sloping down, you're not going to get any upward slope on this at all, and you're just going to be pointing this into the ground. So that is something to be aware of. And I've tried mounting these the other way around, and it doesn't work. Okay. Whereas if I mount this on here, you can see that I've got a complete revolving on that tube for that to mount. So that's what we're looking for. And we've got the wiring. So battery terminals with an inline fuse and the power relay. This is so that all the heavy current is not coming up into the cab to go to your switch, which is here somewhere. Yeah. This dreadful switch. I'm not drilling a hole in my dash to fit this awful thing. So what I'm going to do, I ordered a proper Toyota, well, aftermarket Toyota switch. So this will go straight into one of those little pop-out pieces. It's illuminated. Now this one actually says spotlights because I have a pair of spotlights and I wanted to switch this one out for the spotlights. And I have the light bar version of this arriving tomorrow, but that's not a lot of help today. So today I'm going to probably mount it with this and then I'll switch that tomorrow. So, do I have enough wiring here? Yeah, pretty good. So this goes in the engine compartment on the battery, and then this bit comes through the bulkhead and to the switch, except I'm going to be mounting this one. So this has got little spade terminals, so I'm going to put some female spade terminals on this so I could just plug it in same. That'd be a nice easy connection. And then this comes through to the light, which doesn't have any spade terminals. So they put female spade terminals on here and nothing on here. How strange. Because they're in here. Should have checked all the bags first, I guess. Okay, so this is a little shrouded male terminals that's going to go on here. Fortunately, I do have a spade crimper with me, so that's good. I'd normally do something like this at home, but we're down at the camp house today, so I thought, whilst it's not a lot else going on, I'll fit this. Okay, let's go and get on with it. Now with those brackets, it would actually fit really nicely snug in there, like that. And I would get a little bit of a adjustment to it. But this is Texas, and it gets pretty hot here, and I don't want to restrict the airflow through into here. So even though it's going to be in a more vulnerable position, I'm probably going to mount it there like that, so it's out of the engine airflow. Also, I can get to the winch okay still, so it's not going to impede the winch. This is a really good thing I made. Keeps it. Not going to impede the winch, and it's if I nudge anything, I'm going to bust it, but it wasn't that expensive. So I think that's where it's going, like that-ish. So. Okay, so I ended up with this down here, up here, out here. I couldn't get it in here. I went to bolt it on here, but you don't have enough adjustment on the other brackets. I tried to bolt it on here, but again you don't have any adjustment the other way. So the only place where it, other than it sticking out here, the only place that it looks pretty reasonable is like this. And I'm just hoping that it's not going to restrict the airflow into the into here too much. So I mean, we're in the height of summer here, so it's going to be, it's as hot as it's going to get. So I'm going to take it out on the land and drive it around, stick it into four-wheel drive, load everything up, have the AC running flat out, and see if we get any sort of overheat problems. Which I hope we don't. So let's do that, but let's wire it up first. So just run the wires through into here now. Okay. I'll take this off. These are push-ins, they're great. They're not all push-ins. Let's be sift out. Push-in, there it is. And these ones are pop-ups. They're different. I'm going to bust these off, I know. Push-ins are nice. These little pull-ups are not so good. Bust it. Look at that. God damn it. Okay, I need a new one of those. The other's going to come out or break. That won't come out. That. That's good, I only broke one, that's not bad. Okay, just got to make sure this wire doesn't get caught up in the winch at all. Tie wrap it up here. Tie wrap in, hold it up. Okay. Wind's picking up again. Bit of a, supposed to get a little storm this afternoon. Okay, so you can see that. Oh. I tie that up to there, onto that, and then bring through the rest through in here. Coil up all the spare and tuck it down there. Let's tie that on there before I forget and it ends up a mess. I've got a little thin screwdriver inside here and just pop these blanks out. This one I'm going to move over here so that the spotlights and the bar lights are right next to each other. So just a little push that in, pop that out. That's why it's so nice to buy the proper switches, because then they just go into these holders. So let's wire that up. Okay, so I came through the bulkhead, through that grommet. There was a spare little wire hole. You just had to punch a hole in it. I'll put some silicone on that to seal it so that I'm not going to get any possible water coming through there. Now from the light bar, the red is battery live, but on this switch, this green and yellow is battery live. Even though green and yellow are everywhere in the world, it means Earth. There you go. From the light bar, white is the switched live, the wire that goes to the light, and black is battery ground. So, and on the light bar, black is battery ground. Now we've got two wires here on the switch. One illuminates the switch and one is the live going to the light bar. You could connect this to your dashboard lighting, the illuminating wire, and then the other one go to the accessories. I'm just going to have it that when you turn it on, the switch lights up. So I have crimped those together, got my connector, going to push that back in there, and then make good all the wiring on the inside and put my switch on. Okay, so I was going to move this over to here, but you can't because these are keyed and it'll only go in that slot, so that's okay. The other thing to work out is that there are two types of these switches. There's this one which is long and thin, and there's this one which is short and fat. It's the short and fat one I needed, not this one. Hence I got a little bit of damage on there, which I'm disappointed with, but I'll put up with. And there it is, on, off. I may change it that the backlight of this comes on with the lights, the dashboard lights. This one illuminates when I turn the dashboard lights on, so I may be able to pick the power up off of this one and put it on here. But other than that, that's it, done.